Hi, and welcome to the lounge tonight. How are you? Are you liking that we moved from Friday nights to Sunday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? If you're watching, you've been a follower of the lounge for the last few years. You know, everybody now has a life outside the pandemic, right? They're going out on Friday nights. I kept you guys company over a couple year period, and now everyone's like, hey, we have stuff to do, people to see. And so the lounge is being left on a Friday night with nobody at their cheese trays and, their popcorn and their twinkly lights on their head, except for me. So I decided to move on to Sundays. And we have a new season. Very excited about this new season. We have the theme of soul alignment and stepping into your purpose, which I think is so just apropos of where we are now in the universe, where all of you out there are thinking, what is it that I'm meant to really do here? What's my mission? What's my intuition telling me, right? What am I meant to be doing? And we've reached a point where I've been doing this a really long time. And so for a long time, I've been helping people to give them that guidance, to channel for them, to bring in people from the other side, all those things. And over the last couple of years, my work, as you know, has pivoted to helping you get there on your own, to not depend on external sources, whether it's an intuitive or whether it's your best friend or your family or a doctor or, well, doctors. I mean, I'm not a medical doctor, can't diagnose or treat. We have to say that, right? So it's like we need to be sure, right? If you're going to make a big decision in your life, you need to be sure that that's what you need to do, whether it's a relationship issue, a career issue, a family issue, anything, looking to make sure. So I want to get you there and empower you to know exactly what next steps you're going to need to take. So that means tuning into your own power, your own intuition, your own knowing. And that's kind of my mission going forward, is to help you now step into the life that you feel is of the highest vibration for you and connected to life. And you're ready to finally come back home to the body, because we do both science and spirituality in this program. Because I realized from doing readings for a long, long time, giving people the answers were not breaking their patterns. And I was seeing their patterns. So I could be like, oh, yeah, July of 2024, you're going to meet a guy named Romando, and he's going to have red hair, and he's going to have these lovely green army pants. And I know somebody out there is going to say, oh, you're talking to me. I don't, and yeah. So, but then Romando comes into your life in July of 2024, and you're like, I need a session with you, Marisa. Like, this is it. And then you're like, you were right. This happened. And you're all excited because this happened. And it was just this amazing thing that I was able to see this, right? But then 6 months later, you call me back and you're like, oh, Romando and I, it was like fireworks, and then I crashed. And now when's the next person coming along? When's the next knight in shining armor? And I'm like thinking to myself, after 20 years of doing that, what's going on here? And why aren't people able to step into their pathways that are better for them? And they keep replaying out patterns. And I'm kind of seeing that. I'm seeing what your choices are. And I'm also seeing what's along that line. So part of what I'm doing in this stage of my business is I'm helping you step in to the new pathway. And by doing that, you need to actually break patterns. And that's going to take more than 30 minutes of your time. We're going to balance your nervous system, regulate yourself, bring you back home to connection, get you out of that disconnection, scattered thinking, bring you back home to presence and connection, and have you live a life where you're finally not only having time with those you love, but quality time, and you're able to slow down time so it's not passing you by, and being there in the present moment and finally connected back to yourself. And you're going to live a whole new life. Secondly, if you're new here, I'm intuitive channel medium Marisa Liza Pell. This is the lounge. Every week we have a transformational thought leader, a healer, an author, somebody bringing us into that stepping into alignment, stepping into your purpose pathway. And if you want, if you're not part of my email list just yet, I have a quiz. And if you want to know what your intuitive superpower is, because that's the way to get started on that pathway to getting to know yourself, the link is in the description of this video. And you could see which one you are of 4 intuitive superpowers. I did write this quiz myself, so it is very accurate on what your specific intuitive superpower is. Then this week, the monthly video forecast is coming out. It's free to my subscribers. I go over every day of the month And you want that in your inbox on the 15th of every month because it tells you not only what's going on in the universe at this time, but if you're looking to make big key decisions, it's time to look at that forecast, just like you do the weather forecast. So make sure you are on my email list. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe because then you're going to be able to interact with me as we go live. And on Facebook, make sure you like on Facebook as well. I'm also on the gram at Marisa Liza Pell. So without further ado, I would like to talk about our guest for this evening. And now this is odd that, I normally don't talk to people who have been in this industry as long as I have. And it's been a pretty long time. I feel like I'm part of the ascended people over here. But Alicia has been in the business 30 years. Okay, so she's like one of my like classmates going along the ride with me here. So she's one of, we're kind of in the old head sphere or whatever of doing this work. We've been around a long time. And so it's going to be nice to talk to her to see what kind of changes she's making in the work that she's doing. But I'm very excited to talk to somebody who's been in the business for as long as she has to see what kind of evolution she feels that, we've gone through not only as a world, but as a universe and where we are on the earth right now, because psychic ability, intuition, and mediumship has come a long way and it's not where it used to be. And I don't feel like it's, you know, the same purpose being served for it for humanity as we go along. So let me talk to you a little bit about Alicia. She's a master healer, a spirit communicator, and she's also an educator of healing through the soul field using advanced spirit technology. I want to hear more about that. Yeah. Alicia is a regular guest on Consciousness Telesummits, has authored over 20 transformational courses. So she's way beyond me on this one. Her YouTube channel has over 1.4 million views, and her monthly live transmissions from her senior spirit tutors upgrade your soul light and accelerate your ascension. I mean, accelerate, align, ascend, all these words. Love it. I think she's actually going to tell me a little bit about like all the stuff she's doing. I'm very excited. And so what are we going to talk about on the show? Well, her guides are going to reveal what is meant by life purpose, which is totally in the theme of what we're talking about. How to awaken not only to your soul's purpose, but how to do it fast, how to do it quick. Because isn't that what we all want? We're like, I spent 40 years in this cycle. How do I I'm ready. How do I get this done? Right? We all want the fast way. Like apparently she has one. Quick process to connect with your purpose. So without further ado, I want to bring on Alicia Power. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. I'm great. Lovely,
Awesome.
lovely to meet everyone. Hi, everybody.
Yes.
No, I'm really good. I'm pumped.
I'm pumped to have you
Ready to
too.
go.
So you're on the other side of the world. You're in Australia
Mm,
and the land down under.
am.
Yes. And
I know, I know.
so there's light behind you, but it's probably nighttime where you are, right?
Actually, it's morning. Got
Oh,
up really early. It's coming up for my 9 o'clock, which is great.
yeah.
So yeah, so it's morning. We're in the beginning of a day.
Nice,
No, it's
nice.
uh, yeah, Marissa, it's just so lovely to be here with you, honestly, and the work. Kudos, to you for all the work that you've been doing, and also I just love the way that you are reaching towards your audience and just serving your audience. Just 100 million%. I can feel it in you, like just this service ethic of guys, come on, let's go. Pulling them up by their shoelaces, by their
Yeah.
shoes. I'm a bit like that too.
Yes, you
Go
got
go go.
a lot of spark in you. I could feel it. I could feel the spark going on. So
Oh,
tell
thanks.
me a little bit about you because I know our work might be a little bit different, and I just want for our audience to get a sense. Most of my work has revolved around being an intuitive channel, a guide, and a medium. And how is your work a little bit different than what I do traditionally?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so let's just have a look at my sort of life story just really quickly. So at the age of 18, I grew up in a Catholic family, Christian family. And at the age of 18, I was at university. and started to learn to meditate. And I think at the age of 18, I connected with an Indian spiritual master, Indian spiritual guru, who was living in the West, but a real avatar, someone who was an extension of a lineage, of an initiation lineage of very high Indian avatars. And I was in the Australia, New Zealand part of the world,
Yeah.
but for about 16 years, I followed this spiritual master and was initiated into that lineage, into that really amazing, powerful vortex, and with really ancient 5,000-year-old meditation techniques, and just diving into that spiritual practice. 6 years in an ashram, which we had this household of dedicated celibate people, for about 6 years, and huge commitment, right at the beginning of my life, right? 19, 20, 21, 22, all the way to sort of, and around in my 30s, in my sort of 30, 31, I can't remember quite, I pulled away from all that and I opened up my psychic abilities. And because I was used to deep stillness, and apparently I was reading just recently in Buddhism, like they go into really deep meditation states and they start learning how to be psychic. It's really interesting how that interface, I know that you're probably quite sort of interested in this too, that deep stillness in meditation is quite often the beginning of hearing the whispers, opening up into that multidimensional world, and that multidimensional world pressing in and wanting to start to communicate with you in those really deep, still spaces, right? So here I was in like 100 million% meditation mode for like, I don't know, 16 years or 15 years. And then I opened up that inner space to the worlds of spirit and started to, because I'd been running workshops and speaking on stages, for 16 years already, giving satsang, I was really kind of comfortable with going, hey, the worlds of spirit are here. The reason, by the way, this is really relevant, the reason why I deliberately opened up to communicate with my spirit guides was there was this beautiful moment where a friend was an energy healer. She had me on an energy healing table. I had never had energy healing before, spiritual healing, and she was quite advanced. And after that sort of 20-minute spiritual healing, I sort of sat up on that table and I felt this, I don't know, a door opened in me and this longing. I just sat there looking at it going, and this raw longing of, crazily, I've been in spiritual training for 16 years, and yet I'm at this 0 point wanting to serve humanity, and I don't even know who I am. I don't know who my soul is. I don't know my soul's past lives. I don't know my soul's skills or talents. So I was sitting in this moment looking at her at the end of the session going, help me, help me. I have to get on with sort of who I really am in this life. And I've already been on stages giving discourses and things. I've already done all that, but something was hugely missing. And this is like for everybody to hear, is that the reason why you open up to your own intuition and start talking to spirit guides, I'm really passionate, by the way, about this now, helping people to talk to their spirit guides, right, is because I didn't know who my soul was. And I needed to talk two-way. This is the reason I did it, that I started to have chats. I wanted to ask them questions about my soul. I wanted to ask them questions about where I'd been in other soul existences. I wanted to and this is actually the main point, I wanted to rip open those Akashic records and dive into conversations with a master teacher who could see my entire soul and tell me what was going on, and begin a life with that master teacher walking next to me and me having accelerated awakening, accelerated remembering of myself as a soul. And I want to say that it's really interesting over the last 30 years of now talking with the worlds of spirit and actually being passed up to higher and higher grades, of or seniority levels of spirit mentors, primary mentors that were working with me. There's three main soul purposes, and this is what I just quickly want to quickly at the beginning of our talk want to say, is that what was I going to say? They love to talk about that this is really gorgeous, that every second of our awakened and even our sleep, I guess, as our life is rolling out in the continuum of this hologram, quote unquote, of this dream that we're in this life, every single second is an opportunity to be fearless, to flick over that line of doubt and of fear and go into fearlessness. So it's really interesting. So it's that free will moment of fear versus love, and that's what this whole physical dimension is designed for. It's designed for us to notice, and this goes to the next soul purpose, which is to notice and to remember that you are a soul looking out of your eyes and walking, talking temporarily in this existence, in this physical existence. So, and that's not a theoretical mental idea. That's actually a process that your spirit guides, when you start chatting with them and giving them permissions, and they asking you, can we move you faster now? And like having those two-way kind of conversations, they start rewiring you to viscerally remember, like, what's the word? Yeah, viscerally, I guess, like way deep in the unconscious, there's an opening, there's it's starting to, a glimmer of remembering. And that grows and grows and grows. And until you are, like yourself, until you are a walking, talking beacon of shaking people, wake up, everybody. It's like, because as you're waking up, you can see that other people are longing to wake up too. And so you put yourself in a position like you, Marisa, where you just want to just blast everybody with, wake up. And so remembering that you are soul puts you into your spiritual leadership. And so the key thing that I just said there, by the way, is that step one, start talking to your spirit guides. Step two, start having conversations with them about your soul progress and about your human awakening to the fact that you are a soul, right? And then there's this other soul purpose. I have monthly live streams, live activation events every month, just saying, where very senior teams and councils of light in the spirit worlds, and we all arrive on this live stream, and we travel and fly into the worlds of spirit. They take us to these sacred spots, these sacred spheres in the worlds of spirit every time, and secret too. Like we get escorted up there, and it's different each time, and we just get blasted with light. And what I want to say is that there's a soul purpose.
What's like? I have to ask you. What do you mean? I have to, like, because if I don't ask now, I'm probably gonna forget. But what do you mean you get taken to these secret places?
We get taken. Oh my God, that just the most incredible journeys, right? So I'm fully telepathic online with these guys, and there's a huge group. There's about 300 of us, and we, I just start speaking out loud where they're showing me they're taking us, and everybody comes with me. Everybody's got their eyes closed, and we just start traveling. And oh my God, it's just totally mind-blowing every time. Every time it's just mind-blowing. Everybody's going, we have no words. At the end of it, everyone's going, oh, what just happened? So, but the point I'm saying is that light codes coming into our auric field, and this is what happens, is those light codes start traveling into triggering and dominoing open that remembering that you are soul. But the other thing is that those light codes, especially from these senior levels of the worlds of spirit, they imbue and just start reverberating in your auric field and start radiating subliminally, unconsciously, sideways into those collective human consciousness fields and into Mother Earth's field. And everything starts, like a rising tide, starts lifting subliminally. So that's a job, that's a work in progress, and we're doing that every month. So, and these guys have been doing this with us. These spirit teams have been doing this with me, with teams, with groups for years and years now. So I'm just saying, there's another soul purpose, and that is to hold ever higher light. That's a purpose for your beautiful soul to be here, incarnate, and get exposure to that kind of light and hold it. Right? It's like a vessel holding it. Anyway, just saying.
So Are you doing one-on-one sessions still, or are you just doing this work with the
No.
group that you're
Yeah.
serving? It's not meditation though, right? This is not
You could call
meditation.
it a meditation, but it's pretty sort of mind-blowing. Yeah, you could term it a meditation. These days I'm calling them journeys, and
Journeys.
going into senior levels of the worlds of spirit, way up high. They take us through different airlocks, if you like, getting higher and higher. It takes us ages to get there sometimes
It's like on
because
a
they're taking
spaceship.
us. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
actually, we do end up in a spaceship every now and again.
Oh, wow. Okay. And
Yeah,
do
except it's
people like share their transmissions of what they're receiving in the group, or is it
yeah
just like it's just you lead this and then
afterwards.
afterwards people do share
Afterwards,
about it?
because we don't actually,
No, you
not in
don't.
that live event, because we
Yeah.
sometimes stay there. We close the call and people are still there
Ah,
interacting with these senior beings and having conversations with them, um, asking for help, in your physical reality, asking to be rewired, upgraded, because the higher we go, this is a huge clue, everyone, and this is one of the big things that I kind of carry with me in my life now, is because I work with senior layers of the worlds of spirit, their rewiring of us is super fast. They've got very high spirit authority, and their laser light comes through and does our rewiring like real fast, super fast. And this is something I've been working with now for decades. The speed, the speed of the forgiveness of our soul wounds, of our karma. They are experts. These are technicians. A lot of the time when we're way up there, they're putting us on healing tables, and groups of these amazing high-level spirit technicians come and send light rays into our auric fields and travel deep into our Akashic records to some of the original soul wounds from our many, many, many lifetimes, some of the big
mhm.
ones, and just go in there and just change it. They use it. They use the term change. I've been an energy worker professionally for over those 30 years, right? So I've been looking into auric fields, watching what they do, and now we're in this sort of advanced stage where we're traveling really high and getting some of those really deep soul wounds worked on as a group as well. So
So yeah, so
it's huge.
you're like as what you're explaining to me, because I don't think I've ever met somebody who does this specific type of
You
work. I
need to
think
come on with us,
I'll come on. Yeah, definitely.
Marisa.
There's
Come.
I'll come. I'll come. Yeah. But last week we had an Akashic Records healer on that's been in the business for like 30 years. And now you're talking about the Akashic Records. So it's just kind of interesting. So what if I'm hearing you correctly, it's almost like you're a travel agent and a tour guide to like another like galactic dimension, and you take people to like this secret cave with these beings, and whatever they need to work on, you know, they're worked on there, but you're like the travel guide, right? You're guiding them,
Oh my
taking them
God.
there, right? Was that what I'm hearing?
I'm sort of, I think I'm, because I've been working with them for so long, yeah, in a way, my auric field is so used to very high light, and I create a safety, and I create a groundedness, and I create, yeah, a vortex and these teams are so used to working with me. So we're a really good team together. And so, yeah, my electromagnetic field is incredibly used to highlight. So, so I hold the vortex, I hold the space, and I'm so fluidly telepathic with them as well, with these teams that we're working with. I just want to
Yeah.
quickly say that I've been rewiring auric fields for a long time, but what we're doing now is very different to when I first started. So I was working in the lower fields, because the auric field has got so many layers going out. And then there's the higher soul fields that go up and up and up. And these are fabric, like the actual tissue. And distortion energy, dense energy, shadow energy gets lodged in your physical blueprints, which are so closest to the physical body, to your emotional blueprints, to your mental blueprints, and then it
Mhm.
goes right out to your
Yeah.
soul blueprints, right?
Right.
So many different layers of fabric, of auric fabric. And I used to work with different kinds of spirit technicians when I was working and watching them work. Usually they would start off in those lower body blueprint fields and clear stuck energy. Then they'd move in one session, then they would move to the next layer up. A different team would come in and work with slightly finer, higher soul fields. And then near the end, in the last sort of 20 minutes of a session, very high echelons of the worlds of spirit would come in and work with the high soul fields, which had those multi-lifetime issues, and soul wounds. So that was in the old days, and now we're just working with. They've just sort of run forward and gone, come on, we're just working with groups now, and we're doing this work, by the way, which is something that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
We're doing this work that they're now saying, and they've just pushed forward and just gone, everybody just follow us, because this is a time right now on planet Earth where this highlight is desperately needed, to push out shadow deep in a lot of the pockets in the psychic worlds in Mother Earth's psychic fields, her psychic fields, and also further up in the higher psychic worlds as well. There's shadow, and that it's time to close a lot of that down and just get rid of a lot of it. And that's why they're coming in and going, this is the time of the dawn, as you know, the Kali Yuga, age of darkness, moving through into the dawn. So this is such a crunch time at the moment, and they're providing enormous firepower to the light that's coming in. And and this is their agenda. They've gone, okay, everybody, we know that your physical bodies need, and all the blueprints and the physical need work, but we're just going to go on this agenda at the moment. We're just pushing this light in, and whoever wants to turn up, come with us, right? Because there's this massive train moving real fast at the moment, getting this done.
Yeah. Well, I work with a lot of my audience, highly sensitive, intuitively gifted, but also had energy disruptions or what I don't. Yeah, the word trauma comes up. Trauma in the body, trauma in the energetic experience, but sometimes people, connotate the word trauma to like a big trauma, not the little traumas that could have happened when you were younger. So I usually call it the energetic disruptors, in life, or the energetic breaches or breaks. So with what you do, and I know how hard those patterns are somatically in the body and the nervous system, scientifically, to break, because we're hardwired to keep repeating the same patterns and attracting people into our lives with the same patterns or wounds, right? So even though we believe and we know spiritually, yeah, this isn't good, we can't stop attracting those same patterns unless we start to work at the nervous system level or somatically. So that work could take 20 years, right? So is the work that you do good for this type of pattern release?
Well, I love that you said good for. Okay, so absolutely, yeah. You know that experiences that we've had in this lifetime are echoes of experiences that we've had in other lifetimes, in other existences. And that every second really is being delivered in front of us of this reality in order for us to, oops, my battery's about to go.
Oh no.
In order for us to release old patterns. So every second really is given to us for that reason. And so the teams that I work with, they're telling me to say right now, go to all of the layers, and definitely in the nervous system, but they will have a look at the entire string of pearls, right, that travels to this moment and what's going on, and also how you're reacting in this moment, how you are on the inside of you. I just want to say, guys, I'm on a limited time here right now because my battery,
and if you do
battery's
go,
about to go.
yes, if you do go, I have all your stuff to let people know where to get in touch with you. So I'll just keep recording.
My apologies.
I'll let you know.
Anyway, so yes, it's such a great question. I want to say, Marisa, because the more that you work with spirit technicians, and I always tell my audience to lie down, tip tool, lie down on your bed, call in your spirit technicians. Just do it. say, okay, spirit technicians, please arrive. My spirit technicians that are connected with me arrive, start working on my auric field, and give them specific instructions on the result that you want. And they know they need your instructions. And they know what to do. And you'll feel a cocoon coming around you 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, and you'll feel the cocoon lifting. This is coming from an energy healer who's been doing this for 30 years, guys. I know what they do, and I know how it feels. Just lie down. Your bed's your favorite friend, your best friend. I tell you, lie down, give them a chance to go deep into your auric field. Your mental, your emotional, all your electromagnetic waveforms relax, and that helps them go into your auric field. And do some work, and do it regularly, 2 or 3 times a week. And you'll notice that you elevate, because your substrata, the scaffolding of your aura, which is the scaffolding of your entire consciousness, will start getting stronger. And a lot of the leaks, a lot of the wounds, a lot of the cracks will start getting mended. Guys, do it.
Yeah. So what you're saying is people don't have to go to healers to go and have their spirit teams work on them, which a lot of people think that they do need that they can't do it themselves.
Hey, Marisa, I'm just sort of noticing, I'm just being quick here.
Yeah.
Everybody listening, you can use my name, Alicia Powers Spirit Technicians. Just use that. This is for people who don't know my work and haven't connected with me before, because the worlds of spirit know who they are, right? And those beings, and because you've watched me and you've sort of felt my energy, they're connected to you, and they will arrive. These are advanced, more.
Okay. So we've been having, I don't know what's going on this week, but if you have noticed this past week, the energy has been off the charts, and things have just been, especially technology. I don't know. I think there's solar flares going on right now, but there's a lot of energy moving fast, and it's almost like the world can't catch up with this energy. So we have had 3 things today. I had 3 different events today where there were technological issues, and Alicia and I didn't even know she was coming back on. She had all this static at the beginning of our call, so we did lose her connection, but I am glad I was able to have her on just a little bit, and so now I'm here to entertain you as well. Alicia and I we work very differently. She's into a different, like, if you watch last week's show on the Akashic Records, it's a different dimensional soul team and frequency. And where I come from, I am used to connecting with spirits who have passed, as well as tuning into the your specific consciousness and your specific information and insight in the collective, right? So there are different frequencies of different beings and energetic healers and ascended masters and all different levels. So for me, when I do my work, it's a one-way connection, not a two-way. So it's interesting to hear Alicia talk about how hers is a two-way conversation. I find that really interesting. So I just want to put up some of her information. Thank you, Alicia, for coming on. And if you have any questions for Alicia, for me, please, if you're watching live or you're watching on the replay, please say hi. Say, hey, I'm here. I'm at the lounge today, or I have this question for you, Marisa, or I have this question for you, Alicia, and put it in the comments, and we will get back to you on the replay or after the show and answer your question. So Alicia was with us. She is the master healer, spirit communicator. And if you go into the description of this video, you'll also find her links as well. So she is doing a free gift. As you know, our viewers usually get free gifts. The 26 times, so I'm assuming that's 26 mini soul workouts for soul clarity. Love it. So this completely is in line with, tapping into your soul alignment, stepping into your soul purpose, and getting clear on where you're supposed to be right now at this moment in time, and become present, connected, and grounded within that mission, within that soul mission on the earth plane. So I'm so happy that you are all here. If you're new, I welcome you. I hope you come back to the lounge. It's a great place, and it's a place where you'll find the same people over and over again, our loyal listeners coming back on, and also our new season is connected, like I said, to not only defining your soul purpose, not only figuring that out, not only connecting back home with yourself and opening up to the world of spirit for yourself, but also stepping into that space and creating that space on all 5 multidimensional levels, like Alicia was talking about. We can't just open doorways in our mental sphere and just take in intellectual information, because knowing things sometimes isn't going to change our habits, our patterns, or our pathway, or our purpose, or how we're stepping into life. We could desire deeply to have a wonderful, loving relationship in our lives and an amazing job that we wake up every day and we're excited to do and look forward to that, or a lifestyle of freedom where we spend time and we're present with our loved ones and the things that matter, and have that desire so deep that we could like almost taste it, but yet something is coming in to block it, or we move forward a little bit and we take steps back, and there's some energy that's causing the merry-go-round to happen. And like I said in the beginning, if you haven't watched this from the beginning, that's what I do in my program. That's what I'm doing for all the people that are there right now. This is my most hands-on, high touch, in-depth support program that I've ever offered, where I will work with you long term. Like that's it. I get to know you in the beginning, and we continue to keep you accountable as we take those little steps to get you to see and be confident that you can finally step into that purpose. So in a sense, I am, an intuitive strategist. Yes, we provide that strategy. I'm channeling for you, and I'm also a purpose activation mentor. So we're taking that dream, that purpose, we're designing it, and we're activating it. Number 1, energetically activating it. And then I'm helping you take very small, meaningful steps to stepping in. Because so many times I've said to my clients, you have no idea the relationship you're looking for is right there in front of you. In the next month, this person's going to show up, okay, at your doorstep. Are you ready? If you're ready, you're going to have to release this toxic situation with this person who doesn't want a relationship with you, or is giving you a hard time, or maybe is, whatever they're doing, it's not right. You're just going to have to take that one action, right? That one action to step away, close the door, and I'm telling you, this person's right in front of you. That's exciting. They're like, wow, that's everything I prayed for, everything I want, everything I asked for. And you know what happens? They don't make that decision. And then a year later, 3 years later, maybe they leave this guy, or maybe that guy leaves them or woman, because they weren't really committed anyway. And they come back and you said, I think I did meet that person, but I really wasn't available or present, to check that out. But I remember somebody coming along my pathway. And then maybe that person that was in the way is now gone. But 3 years goes by, and then there's another one. And then 10 years goes by, and I've been in this business long enough where people do call me back 10, 15, 20 years later and say, I'm still in the same place. I was married for 10 years or whatever, and all this, and I'm still looking for this. And I'm saying, but here's the doorway. It's right here. You called just at the right time. So defining that doorway, knowing that pathway is just the one step, right? Stepping into the doorway when everything you want is on the other side. Believe it or not, when it appears, it is hard to step into when you're used to going around and around and around in a pattern, right? So if this resonates with you, if you're ready to step in confidently to that purpose, to that new life. So I'm looking forward to connecting with all of you at some level, whether it's in the chat or coming on to another show or in the program, or just hoping that this inspired you to know that healing, stepping into your purpose, your calling, and actually activating what you're meant here to do is entirely possible wherever you are. It's not too late. So get on that and get inspired. And I will see you next week. And we have some amazing, amazing guests coming on. I'm looking forward to it. And don't forget, monthly energy forecast is in. It's ready to go. It's coming up. And I can't wait for you guys to see it this month. If you're not subscribed to my newsletter, you will not get it in your inbox. And it's time to do that. So you will get it the 15th of every month. Thank you so much for coming on the lounge. And I will see you next Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we have a little bit new music going on right now for our lounge. Whoa. Yeah. All right. Nobody's here to sign off with me. So it's just me talking to you myself. Let's make it real awkward, shall we? Say hi, say bye. We'll see you next week. Have a great rest of your weekend, guys.